Hi guys, welcome to Roots channel.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us again. My friends, you met my friends in my previous video. They are here joining us again. I hope you learned from our previous video. Today we shared about if you haven't watched it, you can go back to watch it first before joining this one, this one, because this one now is the first one we shared about our campus experience, but this one we're going to share about Kenya School of Law. So we're going to share how we manage Kenya School of Law. I know if you have already gone through Kenya School of Law, you know Kenya School of Law has pressure in itself. There's a lot of pressure. So at least if you have, these are things we didn't know at first for us, so which someone had shared it. So the first thing I'm going to share is, make sure when you go to Kenya School of Law, you'll be put into a class. There is day class and evening class. So something that most people don't know is you can swap classes. If you have been put maybe in a day class and you are working, you can swap it to an evening class. Or if you have been put to a class that you feel maybe you're not comfortable in, you can swap it with someone. So yeah, that's something that if you didn't know, you can be in the class you're not happy in without knowing that you have that opportunity or the chance to swap. But that is in the beginning, like the day you're being allocated classes. You can't wait later. Later it's going to be more difficult.
Yeah, true. Yes, so secondly, after you've been assigned to your classes, of course you're supposed to attend your classes diligently. But also another good advice that we'd love to give you is that there are lecturers that are known to be good in certain areas. Yes, all lecturers are good. I'm not saying that there are some lecturers that are not very good, but I mean, for instance, if you're in class A or a morning class and you feel maybe you did not understand a certain concept being taught by your lecturer, you're free to attend maybe an afternoon class being taught by another lecturer to enable you to understand that concept, and that really goes a long way, because especially for units like legal drafting, there are lecturers who focus on the theoretical aspect, while there are other lecturers who are very practical in the sense that there's a lot of drafting in those classes. So make sure you don't miss out on both worlds. If you're in a class that majorly does the practical drafting aspect, make sure to also attend a class that gives the theoretical aspects, because the exams sometimes, for instance, I remember in our year 2016, I think there was no drafting in our examination for legal drafting. So it's really good to note that there is need for you to balance both aspects, and you can really get that by maximizing on the classes that you can attend.
True. As a third pointer for me would be issues of group work. And you know, people did it differently. Some people in the farms, because when you join KSL, you are allocated to farms. So some people would have separate discussions in their farms that are not really assignment based. So it's revision based. Because you really find that to be very important. As Amy said, sometimes you've not understood what the lecturer has taught. But amongst your group members, if it's a farm, if it's a separate group discussion, you know, some people have understood the concept better. And for us, it really worked for us because we had group discussions. There we'd focus on, you know, what someone didn't understand in class. We now looked at past papers. It helped us also prepare for orals. And so group work for us was a main pointer. And I think you tend to understand concepts better when it's someone, your friend who's explaining it, because it becomes more practical sometimes. So, and especially the unit on mathematics, LPM had a lot of accounting at some point, and I'm telling you, group work saved us, honestly. And even aside from even us having a group together, even me was in another group, some people also in other groups. So you find if you have time, that is, some people may not have the time to do it, but if you have the time, it would be good to just have groups and just discuss some of these concepts. It goes a long way.
Yes, maybe to add just something small on what Dorcas has said, it is very important to look at past papers for Kenya School of Law. I can tell you there are times we thought we had read, we thought we had read. Then you look at the past papers, proper shock because you don't even understand the question to begin with.
Yes.
So it's very good for you to familiarize yourself, because I can tell you 100% that is the true reflection of Kenya School of Law examinations. You can be the most read person and you get to the exam room and you know nothing. So it's good to familiarize yourself, start understanding how the lecturers set these examinations, and it will really help you in knowing what to focus on, and even just to know how to understand various questions.
But I think because the reason being, we are taught by Kenya School of Law, but it's the Council of Legal Education that sets the exams. That's what makes everything difficult. You're taught by a different person, but the person who sets the exam is different. So that's why it's important, as Emia said, look at the past papers. Because you might be reading what your lecturer is teaching you, but he's not the one setting the papers. So you have to see also what the examiner is setting.
Like I think in our year 2016, it was the first time CLE was examining. Yeah?
Yes.
It was the first time. So even for us, it was difficult. We didn't know how CLE sets the exams. We were only looking at past papers for KSL, but also it helped because CLE now is the one who gives the syllabus. So we just found a way around it, and it helped.
Yeah, and you should.
Yes. So to add on to another point is that also our year was the first time that we even went to court due to the fact that now CLE required us to do our exams on a daily basis. That is between 9 and I think midday or yes. So you see, it also requires you to prepare beforehand, because having a paper Monday to Friday was really hectic, and if you hadn't maybe prepared well enough, it might be able to, it will be challenging for you, considering the coursework, the way it's wide and all that. So I think considering that you know that KSL is a one-year program, start preparing from the beginning. Have short notes, have discussion groups, have whatever it is that you require. Just prepare well enough so that you can have a smooth experience with the bar exam. Yes.
2016, we really had a lot of issues. It's the year that they increased the number of questions to be done in an examination, while retaining the same amount of hours within which the exam was to be done. So the questions increased from 3 to 5. And you're supposed to do it within 3 hours. So remembering that KSL is a very practical school, and most of the papers you almost must have a drafting question. Sometimes you can even have like 3 or 4 draftings in one examination. So you really, as Gemma said, you really have to learn to utilize your time well. I think you even need to train yourself. If it's issues, things like planes, whatnot, you really have to train yourself to do it within the shortest time possible. And that really goes with also the point that I said earlier about looking at past papers. So you know what to expect, and you know how to tackle these questions. You're able to understand them very fast, because you cannot spend 1 hour understanding the questions, because now that means you'll only have 2 hours to handle 5 questions. So you really must start familiarizing yourself with what goes on, in order to enable you address the questions faster and be able to finish all the questions. Also, not forgetting that being the group that had gone to court, our questions were pretty interesting. Maybe you should have a chance to look at the 2016 papers for you to understand
and the
Yes. Also, sorry, to add on to that, also some of the things that maybe you require is that you have to understand that the bar exam comprises of 60 marks. True. So you have to make sure that the group you are in, you are really serious. If it requires you to take the bulk of the work, please do, because group work is 20 marks, while orals is 20 marks. And for orals, what I can say, then my friends can build on that, is that be confident while going there. If you don't know an answer, just say, so that you don't waste the panelists' time. Be well read, because by the time you're coming to your paper, you don't know which area the panel focus on. So just be confident and don't waste the panelists' time.
Yeah, but also to add to that,
Yeah.
don't say I don't know.
Yes.
You know, they don't expect you. You're a lawyer, and
Yeah.
they expect you to think on your feet.
yeah.
So you just find a way of saying. You
saying,
can say
yeah.
maybe it escaped my mind. I don't
Yeah.
know. But just don't say you don't know.
You don't
Fine,
know,
you can
yes,
attempt.
yes.
Yeah. But also
Or
don't
pass,
waste
yeah,
their time.
true.
Don't waste their time, guys. Jamil saying, you know, you just find a way of saying
Yeah.
it in a way that will also help.
Yes.
And also don't say pass.
Yeah.
And another thing also, make sure on your day, make sure you know the people you're going with, because these questions are repeated. These questions are repeated, so make sure you know. Sometimes some lecturers
Sometimes, yeah.
repeat, so
Others-
make sure you know your fellow people you're going to the same lecturer. Even maybe have their numbers, because trust me, like in our year they repeated some questions, they ask the same, so at least they can give you a hint of what is, or you can even have an idea, even though they're not exactly the same.
Yeah.
You can have an idea of which area they are really focusing
True.
on. So don't just go and sit down yourself. By yourself,
Yeah.
and also don't forget to read the newspaper for that day.
Current
Yeah.
affairs, what is
Yeah,
happening,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Like I remember in our year, I think there was a case where a parrot testified in court or something.
Yeah.
So people are being asked on that thing, like, can a parrot testify in court? And then some people are just there thinking, parrot. So actually, you know, so you should know, you should be versed.
Yeah.
Just
The
know
current
what's
affairs,
happening,
yes.
what's happening around you.
Yeah, that's both nationally and internationally,
Yeah.
because as a lawyer, they assume you know everything.
Everything, and you're able to think in chapter.
That's why we are called learned friends.
Exactly, you know, it's good.
Also, to add on something, at least one of our friends, me, really utilized that was legal aid. Kindly ensure that you take up those opportunities. Because first, it allows you to travel.
Yeah.
Secondly, you get to interact with
The
with
inmates.
the inmates, so you can be able to understand, oh, this is what the
concept.
real world is.
Yes.
Because by then, maybe you have just interacted with the theory part of the
Yeah,
law.
true.
So understanding that, oh, criminals need this and that is a good thing. Yes.
Yeah, so it's
I can say for a fact it was a good experience. I got to travel to Iten,
Right.
Tambach, I went to Sotik, and I also went to Homa Bay County. It's a very good experience to
Yeah.
interact with those people. You get to see that, you get to understand the humane part of it.
Yeah.
You don't just look at them as clients. You get to see they are also human beings who have very, very many needs that are not being addressed by the nation.
True.
don't be like me and Jamel. We waited for them for Mombasa, which came at the end of the year, and it never happened. Just reflect all of them. We waited for the last one.
waiting.
I guess it also goes with my love for travel.
By then, you can take up from our. We're not in the same class with her, but she could come and take up from our class.
Yes.
This one.
Then another thing, maybe as you're in KSL, apart from reading and all that, learn to network, because funny enough, everyone that you are now with in KSL
Yeah,
will be
you'll be your
admitted to the
colleague,
bar,
yeah.
and will be your colleague. At times you require a matter in Sotik, Kisumu,
Yeah.
Nairobi. Then the beauty becomes, if you are close to people, you can be able to refer
just a
someone
phone
just
call,
a phone call away. So learn to be,
Keep
don't
that
keep
box.
to yourself.
Yes.
Just
Get
talk
to
with
keep
people,
them.
be in groups, and also be of help. Don't just
saidiana pia.
yes, when you want to. Yes.
Yeah, true. And you never know where everyone will be. I remember a lecturer telling us the person seated next to you may be a magistrate. One day you may appear before her. So never again, don't look down on your
On
classmates.
anyone,
You
yeah.
never know 3-5 years from now what
Yeah.
they'll be. Someone may be at a place where you really need help from. They may be a judge you're appearing before and you seek orders.
Yeah.
So don't look down on you. Things change. Things change.
So to sum it up, don't forget also balance. That's the way we shared in our campus
Yeah.
video. Don't forget to balance. Like, the educational aspect has pressure because you have to pass your exam at the end. But don't balance both having fun and also going to focusing on the education aspect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hope you have learned something from our experiences that we have shared.
Yes. Please like.
Subscribe to this channel.
Don't forget to comment and share this video. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
So now ni 16 minutes.